Guys, got a quick question for you. I'm Paul Finkelstein in Delaware Beach, Florida. I run several events here. And when you run events, what kind of agenda do you have in your networking events? I'm curious. Put your comments down below, wherever you're seeing this video. How do you run your events? What is the agenda for your events? Or do you just let it go with the flow? And does the flow lean towards one particular speaker, or do you have it really organized? Were you ever a Toastmaster? How do you run your meetings at your company, your networking meetings, any organization, your 1 hour meetings, your 2 hour meetings? How productive are they? Here's one tip that I highly suggest that you incorporate in a 4-part meeting for 1 hour. I always have icebreakers, especially because we have new people that come. But even if you don't have new people, try to plan some kind of exciting icebreaker to really break it up, to really encourage people to perhaps invite a new guest to the next meeting if you don't have other people that are new at your meeting. But what do I do for those icebreakers? One lady named Sherry, she was all the way on the California coast. I can't remember her name. I met her on Alignable. There's lots of different networking events: BNI, Alignable, NPI, Stellar Network, LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, you know the rest. So anyway, this person, Sherry, wherever you are, shout out to you. She told me to go out and buy these cards. She was in a group meeting and she told a bunch of us to buy these cards. They're like relationship building cards. They're awesome. He said, try them. Look them up at your favorite retail outlet. But I had to take out a lot of the cards that related to dating because business is like dating, but it's not dating. So here's 4 cards. You don't need a lot to go to a 1 hour meeting. You can just take 2 of them. Okay. Here's an example of an icebreaker. Now, this is the first part of my meeting because the whole purpose of an icebreaker is to get warmed up. And if the guests at your meeting are warmed up, by that time everybody has their turn, when you listen, you'll be more interested to listen to those 30-second, 60-second introductions that, without knowing them, might sound like a used car salesman, might sound like a pitch. And we want to make sure that our meetings are networking, make sure that they're working, networking, but not net pitch, but not net sell. So to get it to not net sell, to get it to not net pitch, and to make sure people are networking, we start off with some rapport building exercises. 30 seconds. And we also add in a third element, which is meeting one-to-one. Different websites call it something different, but meeting one-to-one in networking groups is so important, outside or inside the meeting. Online, you could do it inside the meeting if your organizer has a planned agenda. If their meeting runs rampant and they're just chit-chatting about one particular topic, that could be great. But what if you could improve upon that a little bit better and ask 1 or 2 questions to everybody around the room? One question doesn't even have to be from a slide or a card. One question could just be, hey, make sure you tell me your name when it's your turn to stand up. Okay, sit down. When it's your turn to talk and you have the microphone, you have the virtual lectern, remember to just say your name and where you're from. So say your name and where you're from. That could be an icebreaker because, sometimes people just come online, they want to introduce themselves. I sell mops. This is the best mop ever. It can clean your floors. It doesn't leave any streaks. Do you want to buy from that person? Maybe. They might sound like an incredible actor, but I don't need a mop and I don't want to see a commercial. But some people love those commercials and some people don't. We prefer introductions. So where you're from and what your name is a great icebreaker as well if you don't have the set of cards until your cards are coming in the mail from whatever your favorite retailer is. Here's another great question. What's one accomplishment that you're most proud of? What's one accomplishment that you are most proud of? This year? 30 years ago? 20 years ago? Do you remember 50 years ago an accomplishment that you're most proud of? over 50 years ago. I was so proud that I finally got off my knees and started to walk. And I'm so proud of it because, I mean, it was challenging. Man, I had to stand up. I was a baby. What's one accomplishment that you're most proud of? All right, that's a little silly. But you know what? If you can't add a little silly, if you can't be a little bit more enthusiastic, maybe you should, because maybe your introduction is boring. All right. Here's another one. What would you consider to be a waste of money? What would you consider to be a waste of money? What would your rap name be? You don't like rap music? Fine. What would your country name be? What would your country name be? Okay. What's the first concert you ever went to? Do they still have concerts? I haven't been to one in a while. But what's the first one you ever been to? Let's see. I think it might have been Boston, the group Boston. Are they still playing? Are they super old? I don't know. But anyway, there are some great songs there as well. So these icebreakers, make sure they're a part of your meeting because relaxing people, getting people in the room who are new, not old, to get comfortable with each other can make a very effective meeting for you two as well.